Hello, my fellow creatives. Welcome to another episode of My Day on Canvas. My name is Summer Silvery and I am an abstract artist. Ironically, I have yet to put a paintbrush to canvas today. It's all kind of been administrative and detail-oriented tasks, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And be sure to stick around for the end. Thank you for tuning in to My Day on Canvas podcast by Summer Silvery. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This podcast is available to stream on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. All links are in the description of this episode. As much as I would love to just paint all day long and have no other cares in the world, that's not the case. When you are a full-time artist and you're trying to show the world your work, it requires you to think about a lot of things, like how am I going to market it? What platforms am I going to use? How am I going to share my story and who I am? And today I've really been focusing on how I'm going to market and share this podcast. This is a brand new podcast, and it's all about my art and my process and my day with it, and how I'm going to promote my abstract art, all the art that is on my shop right now. Like, how am I going to display that to the world? I don't have very big audiences on my social platforms, and a lot of the people that have stuck around throughout my many changes as a creative. In my early 20s, I was doing illustrations, apparel designs, logos. I was doing animation, cartoon creation, stuff like that. I still love those things. And then I found my way into abstract painting, and that has felt like the most me I've ever felt when creating, ever. I have one of those aura rings. If you don't know what that is, it tracks your sleep. It's just a ring you put on and it tracks your sleep, it tracks your heart rate, it tracks all that kind of stuff, kind of like an Apple Watch or fitness watch or whatever. And whenever I wear that and I'm painting, it goes into a resting state mode, basically saying that like I was napping or I was meditating or something like that. Like, that's how peaceful it is to me. I think that is the coolest thing. I had to share that. But abstract painting feels like it feeds my soul and everything. And I want to find a way where I can be completely authentic and just do whatever I want with it and not taint it with, I gotta sell this, I gotta sell this, I gotta sell this. I wanna do it in a way that feels not so like icky, because it's something that I enjoy so much, and I want to do it for the right reasons and not because I need to make money off of them. So today I am just researching and trying to figure out what methods work the best way for me when it comes to promoting my work and myself and stuff like that. I don't want to come off as like a salesperson. I want to share my journey, which is why I created this podcast, because I wanted to have more of a deeper connection with my community and have people get to know me. And then every single painting that I do, there is a reason behind it, and I don't feel like it comes from me specifically. I feel like it's from a deeper place, and I really make sure that when I am putting something out there, it is 1000% something that I put everything into. And see, it's so hard as an artist. Oh my gosh. I'm going to vent for a second. It's so hard just with the way the world is right now, how it's hard, but it's amazing. How as a creative, you have all these incredible options. You have these options to just create. And there's a ton of resources and tools and everything, but it's like the way that we are creating, it's like we're creating at the pace that these social platforms want us to. Like 5-second reels, those are trending right now. If you want to pop off, then go off that. Or like, don't post a photo because that won't do as well, or post this to your audience because this is what they want. And it's so easy as an artist to get distracted by just those barriers and the box that these social platforms put you in, and it kind of carries you away from who you really are as an artist. And that's something that I have fallen into a lot of times, and especially when I, from my early 20s to now, was figuring myself out as a creative as I was posting, as I was sharing my life and all that stuff on social media. So I have had many different audiences on my platforms. Like, I am convinced that my platforms are dead, and I feel cringy kind of saying that, just because I should have more engagement than I do, but I have not been consistent enough in what I'm doing to pick up an audience. And that's because I haven't figured out as a creative what it is that I can consistently do all the time that feeds my soul. And finally, I have found that, and that is abstract painting. There are a lot of other creative things that I want to do, but those aren't foundational to me, meaning painting is something that I could do for the rest of my life every day. The other things like illustrating, cartoon creation, those make me happy as well. But there are things that I want to do with that and projects I have for those, especially cartoon creation, that requires resources that I'm not able to get yet because I haven't built a foundation or a community or the amount of money that I need to fuel those as well. So once I build a foundation with something stable and continue doing that, then I can kind of branch off and do these other things and be able to have the proper tools to make those successful as well. We will get there, guys. We will get there. It is all just a learning process, and I've come to find over the years that people give their best advice on what works for them. But ultimately, we got to figure out what works for ourselves too, and then we can add the little golden nuggets from other people that we've learned if they fit for us. But it's all just like a learning game, and I think that's why it's important to just share with other people, because you never know what little golden nuggets you can give to somebody or random ideas that they never would have thought about before if you hadn't have shared that. It's like when somebody will tell you the same thing over and over and over and over again, what you should do, and you hear them, but you don't actually hear them. And then somebody else will come up to you and they will say the exact same thing, but a different way, like their own way, but it's the same thing. And then you're like, whoa, I know exactly what you're saying. It's like that, if that makes sense. It's perspectives, and we all have our own, and it's just, and I think it's important that we share them. As I wrap this episode up, I want to share something else that I'm working on today, and that is figuring out a way to do giveaways here on this podcast for all my listeners, for those who are engaging, liking, following me on all the platforms or one of the platforms that this podcast is available on. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Anchor, and I'm also posting it on YouTube. I want to give away a painting. So I'm going to find a way to make it fun so that my listeners are able to possibly win a custom painting by me. It will be a 5x7 canvas panel, and it'll be some sort of abstract painting, or maybe I can make it more fun and kind of make it more about the listener. I don't know yet. If you guys have any thoughts on this, I would love your feedback. But that is something else I am working on today as well. Thank you for listening to another episode of My Day on Canvas. My name is Summer Silvery, and if you're wanting to follow me on social or any platform or whatever, be sure to look at the one link in my description. It is incredible. That was something else I worked on today. Link in bio is an incredible freaking platform that allows you to have as many of your links as possible on it. So check it out. It's pretty cool.